What's going on? Wrestling vs. Family. Welcome back to another explosive episode, and if this is your first time here, you just walked into the aftermath of one of the most shocking nights in WWE history. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button because what we're about to break down is absolutely insane. The Vision just changed everything. Zelina Vega's faction, the group that's been methodically taking over the women's division, just brought in a new member that nobody saw coming. And the impact was immediate and devastating. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair just lost their women's tag team championships in the most shocking fashion possible, thanks to this final twist that the Vision had up their sleeve. Who is this new addition? How did they cost Alexa and Charlotte the titles? And what does this mean for the entire women's division moving forward? We're breaking down every single detail, analyzing the strategy behind the Vision's master plan, and predicting where this all goes next. But before we dive in, destroy that like button, drop your reactions in the comments, and let's get into this incredible story. Let's start by talking about the Vision and why this faction has been so important to the women's division. Zelina Vega created this group with a specific purpose: to dominate WWE and prove that together, they're unstoppable. It's not just about winning matches or holding championships, though those things matter. It's about control, about power, about rewriting the hierarchy of the women's division with the Vision at the very top. The original members of the Vision brought different strengths to the table. Zelina herself is the mastermind, the strategist who sees 3 moves ahead of everyone else. She's the one orchestrating everything, pulling strings, making sure every piece falls into place exactly when and where it needs to. Her intelligence and cunning make her the perfect leader for a group with championship aspirations. The other members brought their own unique skills. You had the raw power, the technical excellence, the high-flying ability. Whatever the Vision needed in any given situation, they had someone who could deliver. But Zelina knew that to truly dominate, to truly take over the division completely, they needed one more piece. They needed someone who could be the difference maker in the biggest moments. They needed their final twist. For weeks, Zelina had been teasing that something big was coming. She dropped hints in promos, made cryptic comments on social media, and there was this sense that the Vision was building towards something major. But nobody could figure out what it was. Speculation ran wild. Who could Zelina possibly bring in that would elevate the Vision to the next level? Some fans thought it might be a returning legend, someone with name recognition and credibility who could lend star power to the faction. Others thought it might be a call-up from NXT, a hungry young wrestler ready to make an immediate impact on the main roster. A few people even speculated it could be someone from outside WWE entirely, making their debut as part of the Vision. The answer came on the night that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defended their women's tag team championships. This was supposed to be a routine title defense against members of the Vision. Alexa and Charlotte were the favorites going in. They're both multi-time champions with years of experience, incredible chemistry despite their complicated history, and the kind of talent that makes them legitimate threats to anyone in the division. The match itself was exactly what you'd expect from competitors of this caliber. Back and forth action, near falls that had the crowd on their feet, incredible athleticism on display from all 4 women in the ring. Alexa was hitting her signature moves with precision, Charlotte was dominating with her power and technique, and the Vision members were holding their own, proving they belonged in a championship match. As the match progressed, it became clear that Alexa and Charlotte had things under control. They were working together seamlessly, cutting off the ring, isolating one member of the Vision and wearing her down for the finish. The crowd was getting loud, sensing that the champions were about to retain and send the Vision back to the drawing board. But then Zelina Vega's music hit. She walked out onto the stage, and immediately everyone's attention shifted. What was she doing? Was she coming to ringside to interfere? The referee was distracted, warning Zelina not to get involved, and in that moment of distraction, everything changed. The new member of the Vision appeared, and the shock was immediate. This wasn't just anyone. This was someone with serious credibility, serious talent, and serious motivation to make an impact. She slid into the ring while the referee's back was turned, and before Alexa or Charlotte could react, she struck with devastating effectiveness. The attack was surgical. She knew exactly who to target, exactly where to hit, and exactly how much damage to inflict to completely swing the momentum of the match. One of the champions went down hard, clutching her ribs, unable to continue. The Vision members in the match immediately capitalized, hitting their finishing move on the legal opponent while Alexa or Charlotte was still down from the sneak attack. 1, 2, 3. New champions. The referee raised the Vision members' hands as the crowd sat in stunned silence, trying to process what just happened. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, two of the most decorated women in WWE history, just lost their championships because of one perfectly timed interference from the Vision's newest recruit. The aftermath was chaos. The new member stood in the ring with Zelina and the rest of the Vision, all of them raising their arms in celebration as the former champions rolled out of the ring in shock and pain. The commentators were losing their minds, trying to explain to the audience at home who this person was and what this meant for the women's division going forward. Let's talk about why this new addition makes the Vision so dangerous. This isn't just about adding another body to the faction. It's about adding someone who fundamentally changes what the Vision is capable of accomplishing. This person brings experience, brings championship pedigree, brings a level of ruthlessness that perfectly fits Zelina's vision for total domination. Her addition also sends a message to the entire locker room: the Vision isn't messing around anymore. They're not content to just compete, they want to rule. By bringing in someone of this caliber, Zelina is announcing that the Vision is ready to take on anyone, anytime, and they have the weapons necessary to win those battles. For Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, losing the championships this way is absolutely devastating. It's one thing to lose because you got outworked or because your opponents had a better night. It's something completely different to lose because someone interfered, because you were blindsided, because the match was stolen from you. That kind of loss creates anger, creates motivation for revenge, creates a burning desire to get those titles back. The dynamic between Alexa and Charlotte adds another layer of complexity to this situation. These two have been rivals for years, have had their own feuds and conflicts, but they put that aside to team up and win the tag team championships. Now that they've lost the titles this way, will they stay together to get revenge on the Vision? Or will the frustration and disappointment cause them to turn on each other, which would be exactly what Zelina wants? Think about the psychology at play here. Zelina is a master manipulator. She doesn't just beat people physically, she beats them mentally. By causing Alexa and Charlotte to lose the championships, she's planting seeds of doubt between them. Whose fault was it? Who should have seen the interference coming? Who didn't do enough to prevent the loss? Those questions can tear a team apart from the inside, and Zelina knows it. The new member of the Vision also brings specific matchup advantages. If we're talking about someone with a particular style or set of skills, that person can target specific weaknesses in opponents that the Vision previously couldn't exploit. Maybe she's a submission specialist who can make anyone tap out. Maybe she's a powerhouse who can overpower opponents that the other members couldn't handle. Whatever her specialty is, it fills a gap that the Vision needed filled. From a booking perspective, this is brilliant storytelling. WWE took a faction that was already interesting and elevated them to main event status by adding the right person at the right time. The Vision now has championship gold, they have momentum, and they have a roster of talent that can compete with anyone in the division. That's how you build a faction that fans take seriously. Let's discuss the potential feuds that spin out of this title change. Obviously, Alexa and Charlotte are going to want an immediate rematch. They have every right to invoke their rematch clause, and that match will have an entirely different dynamic now that they know what the Vision is capable of. Did they come up with a strategy to neutralize the interference? Did they bring backup of their own? Did they request a special stipulation that levels the playing field? But beyond just the rematch, this opens up individual feuds as well. Maybe Alexa targets the new member specifically, wanting to prove that this newcomer made a mistake by costing her the championship. Maybe Charlotte goes after Zelina, recognizing that the real threat is the mastermind behind the Vision. Those singles feuds could run parallel to the tag team story, giving us multiple compelling matches and storylines all stemming from this one moment. There's also the question of who else the Vision might target now that they have the momentum. Are the women's tag team championships enough, or does Zelina have her sights set on the women's championship as well? Could we see the Vision members challenge for both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, trying to hold all the gold across both brands? The ambition and scope of their goals could expand now that they've proven they can take championships from established stars. Other teams in the division now have to be looking at the vision as the standard bearers, the team to beat. That creates natural challengers. Teams who want to prove they're better. Teams who want those championships for themselves. Teams who see the vision as obstacles standing between them and glory. Every women's tag team in WWE now has a clear target and a clear motivation. The storytelling with the new member's character is important too. Why did she join the vision? What's her personal motivation? Is it purely about winning championships and dominating the division? Does she have history with Alexa or Charlotte that makes this personal? Is she someone who's been overlooked or underutilized and sees the vision as her path to the spotlight she deserves? Those character motivations make the story richer and more engaging. Social media absolutely exploded after this title change. Fans were posting screenshots, creating memes, sharing their shock and disbelief that Alexa and Charlotte had lost the championships. The trending topics on Twitter included the vision, the new member's name, and various phrases related to the title change. That organic social media engagement is exactly what WWE wants because it extends the life of the story beyond just the television broadcast. Wrestling journalists started publishing articles analyzing the title change, speculating about where the story goes next, and debating whether this was the right booking decision. That kind of mainstream wrestling media coverage gives WWE additional publicity and keeps the story in the conversation throughout the week leading up to the next episode. Let's talk about how this affects the women's division hierarchy. Before this title change, you had a certain pecking order with established stars at the top. Now, the vision has forced their way into that upper echelon. They're not just contenders anymore, they're champions. They're the measuring stick against which everyone else in the division will be judged. That shift in hierarchy creates new dynamics and new potential matchups that we haven't seen before. Younger wrestlers in the division now have to look at the vision and decide, do I align myself with them and benefit from their success? Do I stand against them and try to be the hero who takes them down? Do I stay neutral and focus on my own goals? Those decisions shape character development and create branching storylines that keep the division feeling fresh and unpredictable. The veteran wrestlers have to reassess their positions as well. If Alexa and Charlotte, with all their experience and accomplishments, can lose to the vision, then nobody is safe. Everyone is vulnerable. That creates urgency. Wrestlers can't coast on their reputations or their past achievements. They have to evolve, adapt, and stay sharp because the vision has proven they can beat anyone. From a creative standpoint, this title change also gives WWE flexibility in how they book premium live events. The Vision can defend the championships against multiple teams, they can be involved in multi-team matches that showcase the entire division, they can have cinematic or special attraction matches that highlight their characters and storytelling. The championships being on the Vision opens up creative possibilities that might not have existed with different champions. There's also the potential for dissension within the Vision itself down the line. Right now they're unified, they're celebrating their championship victory, they're on the same page. But what happens when multiple members want individual glory? What happens when someone feels like they're not getting enough credit? What happens when the new member wants to challenge Zelina's leadership? Those internal conflicts could provide compelling storytelling months down the road while still maintaining the Vision's dominance in the short term. The merchandise and marketing opportunities are significant too. Championship-holding factions always get featured more prominently in WWE's promotional materials. The Vision with championship gold can be on posters, commercials, social media graphics, and all the other marketing that WWE produces. That increased visibility helps get the faction and its members over with casual fans who might not watch every week. And that's the situation right now. Wrestling vs. Family. The Vision brought in their final piece, a new member who immediately made an impact by helping the faction capture the women's tag team championships from Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. The women's division has been turned upside down, the power structure has shifted, and we're just getting started with this story. What do you think? Was this the right move? Are you excited about the Vision as champions? What should Alexa and Charlotte do to get revenge? Drop all your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. I want to hear what everyone thinks about this massive title change. If you enjoyed this breakdown of one of the biggest moments in the women's division this year, go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to Wrestlingverse and turn on notifications because we'll be covering every development in this story as the Vision continues their reign of dominance. Thank you so much for watching, Wrestlingverse family. This is the kind of storytelling that makes the women's division must-see television, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Until next time, stay locked into the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.